Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I'm back with more boxing news. And of course, Floyd Mayweather just did an interview on Cameron's podcast, the rapper Cameron from the It Is What It Is podcast. And of course, from his rapping career, did an excellent interview, I think, with Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather, they were addressing the speculation regarding his current financial situation. And I think Cam did a great job with this interview. And I think he was the only person that could have gotten this interview because of his cachet and around the community and his cachet in the industry. Because most of the people, the pundits, are pretty critical of Floyd Mayweather, and they come off away and they come off like they have an agenda. Cam didn't seem like he had that, and he wouldn't do that to somebody, especially of culture. So I think he's one of the few people that could have got this interview, other than maybe a Stephen A. Smith could have gotten it, or maybe a Jalen Rose or somebody like that. But for the most part, it's only like maybe 5 to 10 people that could have got this interview from Floyd. And to get this much information from him, even though it wasn't a lot of information, most of the information that was purveyed throughout this interview was stuff that he answers the same way. It's pretty much PC. It's try to, he's leaving you at crumbs to decipher where he is, but he's not going to physically come out and say it because it makes him look vulnerable. And he's one of those people, just like in the ring, he doesn't want to be vulnerable, like nobody in the ring does. But he's not going to give you the exact information because, like he said, it's none of our business, right? But at the same time, when you flaunt this wealth and you flaunt conspicuous consumption, people want to know why it doesn't look the same. And this is what this interview was kind of addressing because he brought up things in the interview that I didn't even realize about him paying cash for a Knicks basketball game, which he says in our community, we keep cash and we do this and that. Most of the time, a Floyd Mayweather is not paying. They see him and they just come right through. But I think the Knicks is a little bit different. But when he talked about paying cash, it kind of threw me off because I've never seen this story before. Maybe he saw it, or maybe he saw it in the comments or something. But he addressed it and he kind of circumvented the question. He didn't really answer any of the questions. He pretty much just said that why do people care? Why is it their business? Uh, how much do they make? So it was kind of questions like that. But for the most part, he didn't answer anything. But if you read between the lines, it something definitely is off because he has all these lawsuits against people who said stole money from him and things like that. And usually when you sue people um, for stealing from you for over like 30 years, it's because you're going through your accounting, you're going through your money, and you're like, wow, where can I find a dollar here? Where can I find a dollar here? So let me challenge this over here, and then let me go back and scrounge up my money. Because usually, if you're on top of your money and your finances, you would have caught that 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But to catch something 30 years ago, you're trying to put things together and try to see if it's anything there, which it seems like he's doing now. Because we know about the spending habits that he has, the huge gambling that he does, the spending that he has, and how generous he is with his wealth. Unlike most billionaires or people that's worth a couple 100 million, they're usually pretty, you know, frugal with their spending. They're more cautious with their spending usually. But Floyd, if you see him, he might have on $1 million outfit, or he might have on a $500,000 outfit or more. So it's not uncommon to see that. So when you start seeing him, like in the interview, he had a polo shirt on, just not a U.S. polo, but a regular Ralph Lauren polo shirt with just a regular polo. It wasn't purple label; it was just regular polo, and it was kind of odd. Now he was training, so usually they would be shirtless, pause, but he had a regular polo shirt on. So it was kind of funny from that aspect. And you don't usually see Floyd like that. Usually we've seen him with a Celine shirt or a Gucci shirt or even a Prada shirt or something like that. That would have been custom made for him to work out in. But he just had a regular polo shirt. So it did look a little different from the time that it went around. But he was close to $1 billion, and he's one of those stories where you you don't think that he would get in that situation because of what Floyd the money he's made, the promo company that he has, and he's cut out the middleman for the most part. So he saw a lot of pieces of the pie every time he fought because usually it's broken up into 4 or 5 different ways, maybe even more. Floyd's cutting that into maybe half or even less than that because he's splitting the gate maybe with the arena, but more than likely than not, he's not splitting it with the promo company or a manager because he's that. So he doesn't have to split that way. I mean, of course, with his team, with his cut man, and with his uh, I forgot the guy's name. Well, Al Heyman used to take a cut, which he's also suing him allegedly in this whole thing, which is it's just becoming very odd because all of the people that are close to him, we don't see where they are, and he's suing the people that's usually close in his camp. Because Al Heyman is a guy he brought up a lot throughout his tenure in his boxing career, and even said he looked at him like a father, but he's accusing him of stealing from him. And then he had, a couple managers that we always see him with, the light skinned guy with the glasses, the bald guy. I can't think of his name, but he's always around. We haven't seen him around either. Um, I think he might have been in the background in that interview somewhere. But for the most part, feels like he has a new team. It's kind of similar to Lil Wayne, where Lil Wayne's career started hitting a downward slope, and the people that was close to him started separating out from the camp because you don't see the same people anymore. And for the most part, usually when you don't stay with your same team that you were successful with, usually your career doesn't go where it needs to go. It usually hits a downward slope, and we're starting to see that with Floyd Mayweather and Lil Wayne, unfortunately. Because for us to see Floyd have to fight again after he went 50-0 to do these exhibition matches against in Asia and Dubai and having to fight Mike Tyson for exhibition, which we know Mike Tyson is close to the end, like his late 60s. Floyd is close to, well, I believe it's in his 50s now or close to it. We didn't think we would ever have to see this. And for all of the fights that's going on, he has to fight Pacquiao again, which I think is a huge risk for Floyd because this will be a sanctioned fight if it's allowed to go, which I think the fight is supposed to go on. If Floyd loses this fight, he loses all his credibility and everything that he built just for the money aspect of it to just get back financially, which he shouldn't have to do with the money he's made. Because if he loses against Pacquiao, they're gonna say that first fight, he should have lost because of Pacquiao's injury, but they're gonna say he should have lost as well because Floyd came back for money and he lost a fight just to take the fight. So he can't really. I mean, only he has more to lose than he has more to gain in that fight, which he'll make a lot of money off of it. But as far as his career and everything that he built with that zero, that 50-0 he talks about, that goes out the window. But even if he loses, he gets the money, but you lose everything you built in your career because he was so fixed on that 50-0. But you lose all your stock after you lose that match. So um, it's a sad thing to see, but people who pray for his downfall, you know, are happy about the situation or speculating, trying to dig and pry, trying to get what they can get. But hopefully he can learn from this situation and he regains some control of his life and gets to where he needs to go. So tell me about your thoughts about Floyd Mayweather. And until next time, I'll see you next time.